Whew. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday Loving Kindness Meditation. My name is Alex. It's wonderful to be here with you today. Welcome. And welcome to everybody online, which there are 0 people right now. Okay. Now there's 1. All right, there's 1. We got a 1. Nope, it's 0. Nope, it went back to 0. It's okay. But they were probably wondering because it was like 2 or 3 after and I hadn't started the meeting yet. I live up in North County, and usually I leave like an hour ahead. Like I leave at 6 o'clock, and I left at 6 o'clock, and boy, there was just a heck of a lot of traffic this coming down here. So, I was late myself. So, all right. So, are there? Before I get there, let me just say, are there anyone here who's brand new to the Dharma Temple? Kind of. Is there anyone here not brand new to the Dharma Temple, but first time to Wednesday, first time to the Loving Kindness? Okay, cool. Thank you. So the way that this class is the same as any other class, really. So we're going to have the short introduction. We're going to do our meditation on loving kindness, metta, unconditional friendliness, goodwill, concord, amity, inoffensiveness. There's lots of different definitions for this word. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. And then after the meditation, we're going to have a little Q&A, and sometimes I have something I want to talk about, and sometimes not. I want to hear from you. So let's see here. The word that we're talking about, because we call this a loving kindness meditation, the word, the Buddhist word that we're talking about is metta. M-E-T-T-A, metta. And this word is from the old Pali language, which is a language that's probably pretty close to what the historical Buddha spoke. We're not really sure. The Buddha spoke something called the Magadhan language, and how close that actually is. We think it's pretty close to the Pali language. But not super sure. They didn't keep great records back then in India. But anyway, this ancient word, when translated into English 2,500 years later, there's a host of meanings, right? It could be loving kindness, as you've heard, unconditional friendliness, goodwill, concord, amity, inoffensiveness. I mean, it just means so many different things. And the flexibility in translation is really, really useful to us in meditation because, we can choose what word really means something to us for whomever we're doing this practice for, right? So if you're ever doing this practice for the enemy, something like loving kindness doesn't come really tripping off the tongue for this person probably. So you can choose something else. And so it's a wish to be happy, but more than that, it's a wish for ourselves and others to do the things that cause happiness. Right? Because we know as Buddhists that, I can't save you. You can't save another person. They have to save themselves. And so you wish for them, you make an aspiration for them to do the things that cause happiness in themselves. Right? And so if you know the motto of the Dharma Temple, then you know what causes happiness at the most basic level, right? The motto of the Dharma Temple is think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. That's it. Now that statement doesn't belong to Buddhism. It belongs to other spiritual practices as kind of how they try to live their life, but it's very helpful for us to think of it in this way as well. Because we know karmically, these are the things that cause happiness. In Buddhism, we think of it as our, positive, well-intentioned actions, thoughts, and words. And another word for that is skillful. You hear a lot of, if especially if you're in Theravada Buddhism, especially if you're in Theravada Buddhism in the United States, you'll hear that word skillful used a lot, right? A lot. Sometimes almost too much, but it's really useful. It's really, really useful. So we want ourselves to do the things that cause happiness. We want others to do the things that cause happiness. And the wonderful thing about this is because we now know what causes happiness, our loving kindness for ourselves will never interfere with somebody else's loving kindness for themselves. All these actions are positive and they're skillful, well-intentioned. They don't cause anyone any harm ever. They are blameless because they are skillful, right? So that's why this is also a good thing to think of when we're doing this practice for an enemy. We don't do the practice for the enemy here, by and large, because there's better ways to do it for this particular culture. But if you're ever doing it for, I don't know, you can think of it like that. All right. That's still 0. It's still 0. No, it's 2. Now it's 2. All right, we got 2 people here. I just think it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm not worried about it. All right. So, is there anyone here who's brand new to meditation? I don't think so. But maybe. No? Okay. I'll see. So, for the 2 people who just showed up, say hello, or just hang on. We're going to get to the meditation here in just a minute. So how we're going to do this meditation in the particular way that I do it is we're going to first kind of get connected to the breath, and I'll give you some instructions on that. And then we're going to do this practice for a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown you great love and great kindness, someone that's really easy to have these warm feelings of loving kindness for, right? So hopefully that'll be really easy for you. Then you're going to imagine your benefactor, and it could be the same one, it could be a different one, doing this practice for you. And the only thing that you have to do is just receive all of your benefactor's love and kindness. Just receive all of it. Welcome. And afterwards, then we're going to do the practice for ourselves. Loving kindness for ourselves, which is the most important thing that we can do. I always say that for here, and this includes myself, if we just did nothing but loving kindness for ourselves for like 7 to 10 years, boy, would we be in good shape. We'd be in really good shape. And then we'll explore the limitless quality of the heart, because in Buddhism we take the strategy that we have the capability, and our heart has the capability to include everybody. Whether we like them or not, whether we know them or not, whomever they are, wherever they are, we have the capability to include everybody in our heart of loving kindness, in our heart of metta. That our heart is limitless. So we practice that. So we'll do that to end our meditation. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to guide this meditation. Any questions before we start? All right, let's go do it. So allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that position, that seated position that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable, so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. You can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment, because each Buddha has their own tree of enlightenment. So what we're going to do is just kind of get connected to the breath. All right, so let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. You can focus on your breath at the base of the nostrils, feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. Or you can focus on the belly or the chest, feeling its expansion and contraction as you breathe. So really getting connected to the breath by watching it go in, watching it go out. Just placing your attention somewhere that you can just watch the breath comfortably. If your mind ever gets lost in thought while you're doing this, that's okay. This is normal. We have this technique called labeling, so that you just label the thought, simply thinking. So you have a thought that arises and you just say to yourself, thinking, which will snap the mind back to the present moment, even if it's just for a second. So it doesn't matter how many times your mind gets lost in thought or for how long. It's simply just thinking and come back to the breath. No matter what we're doing in meditation or what kind of meditation you're doing, you always want to have at least 25% of your attention on the breath, anchoring you to the present moment. So just for the next couple of moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. So to begin our practice of loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, and goodwill, we're first going to think of a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown you great love and great kindness. Not a romantic partner, but anyone else is on the table. Just think of this person and what they've meant to you, how much you just want them to be happy. And you can either just radiate loving kindness to them, and however you understand that word. Sometimes I like to picture a beam of loving kindness going from my heart to theirs. Or you could just repeat phrases of loving kindness for them, phrases like, may you be happy. May you do the things that cause happiness. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. And just choose one or more of those phrases. Just one is fine. And smile when you do, because smiling helps so much in meditation. Puts the mind in the right place, where certainly you can help. So for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. And now shifting our focus from loving kindness for our benefactor to now imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. You see, we already have the experience of our benefactor's love and kindness. It's already there. That's why they're a benefactor. And you can use the same one, you can use a different one. Just imagine them doing this practice for you, either radiating loving kindness to you, saying the phrases of loving kindness to you. And your only job really is just to receive all of it. Receive all of their love, all of their kindness. And you can put your hand over your heart if you want. You can still smile. If there's any part of you that just can't receive all of it, that's okay. Any areas of tightness or tension, and you then just breathe into it. Just breathe into that tension. Breathe out. Just give it some space. So we'll do this practice of imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us just for the next few minutes. Now for probably the most important part of this meditation is now doing this practice for ourselves. And so at first, just call to mind your own wish to be happy, your own wish to be safe, healthy, at peace, which is a wish that everyone has for themselves. We may go about it in unskillful ways, but that's still the aspiration. So we wish for ourselves to be happy, wish for ourselves to do the things that cause happiness. And if you want, you can just whisper ever so gently to yourself, may I be happy. And smile while you do. Keep your hand over your heart if you want. So now do this practice for ourselves. And now finally, like I said earlier, we can explore the limitless quality of the heart, our limitless potential to open our heart to all beings in all directions. So whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Just go as far out as you can. And do this practice for all beings in all directions. Just open your eyes when you're ready. Just for the next couple of minutes, just take this opportunity to still be mindful of our thoughts of loving kindness while we stretch our arms and stretch our legs. Again, keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about us. So for the next maybe like 45 seconds, we'll do that. Get started. All right. Whew. So welcome to the folks who came online. Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. As usual, it was good for me. This meditation, but it doesn't. You don't have to have my experience, right? I've been doing this for a little bit, up here, and I hope that the instructions were, well understood. Any questions on the instructions at all? Okay, I didn't think so. Every experience of meditation is different. Like I said at the beginning of class, I was kind of in a rush. I mean, not really in a rush. I mean, I left my home at 6 p.m. and I didn't get here till like 6:55. 6:56, just in time for class to start. So I didn't have time to kind of decompress or anything like that, which affects me less, but it still affects me like in my own meditations. So I always felt somewhat hurried, and it took me a little longer just to kind of relax into the meditation. But that's okay. That's stuff like that is normal. I've been doing this for a while anyway. So the reason I said like every meditation is different, because every meditation you ever do is going to be different. Every breath that you get to take is always going to be different. So you'll never take the same breath twice. It's always going to feel a little different. It's always going to make you feel a little different. This is one way we stay really interested in the breath. And if we can stay interested in the breath, we can stay focused on our meditation. We can stay focused on the present moment when we're doing our meditation. We can have a more concentrated meditation, more productive meditation. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult at times, even though I'm leading the meditation and I have my stopwatch here and I kind of know when to say what. I really just wanted to just not even look at that, look at my stopwatch. I just kind of wanted to meditate with you, but I actually had to lead the meditation. So I think I was a little late and part of it, so which kind of made me chuckle a little bit. So any questions about, or anyone want to experience tell me about their experience of meditation? The great thing about this question is that it's just your experience, so there are no wrong answers. It could be easy, it could be difficult. A certain part could have been easy or challenging. You could have related to it differently this time than maybe, the last time you did it.
I really like what you just said. Every breath is different. Like you're never gonna. I like how you explained that. I've never looked at it that way, and I do find it challenging to sit with myself, but I think there's a lot of benefit to doing it, and so I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah, and it's something. Thank you. First of all, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's a strategy that we take in Buddhism to help us stay interested in the breath. Because the more that we can stay interested in the breath, the more that we can not find the breath so boring. Because a lot of times, especially new meditators and even experienced meditators, like all the breaths are all the same, and so our mind will get more easily just kind of get distracted on thoughts of the future, thoughts of the past, or whatever it is. And so we try to get people just to stay really interested in the breath. And we have so many tools for that. This is one strategy, right? You can count the breath. Counting the breath is another wonderful strategy that we have. And so what we do is, this is really kind of funny. So we breathe in, and we breathe out, and we count 1. We breathe in, we breathe out, and we count 2. And we go all the way up to 10, all the way down to 0. And then we go to 5. And you would think that, well, that sounds pretty easy. I can do that. Yeah, you can do that. But the trick is, if you ever get lost in thought while doing this, you start again at 0. Right? So, a lot of people are like,
and what is it? 10 up, 10 down, and 5?
Okay. So a lot of people are like, 1, 1, 1, because they see that hey, this is not so easy to pay attention to the breath, to be ardent and alert and mindful. I wish last week I brought up this little poster here that I could show you, but when we're meditating, and this is really works for any meditation, but normally we do this for mindfulness meditation. There's a couple of qualities that we rely on for meditation. First of all, we have something that's called mindfulness, which is, mindfulness has the quality of memory. So we remember something. So when we're mindful of the breath, we remember the breath. So every time we breathe in, we're remembering the breath and remembering the quality of the breath. We're remembering how the feels going in and how the breath feels going out. We're remembering to keep concentrated or focused on the breath. We have these other qualities to help our mindfulness, and they're called alertness, and it's called ardency, or being ardent. In the Satipatthana Sutra, the foundations of mindfulness, actually that's kind of a bad translation. Now we just say like the establishing of mindfulness. But if you heard foundation, you can just stay with that. That's okay. In all of the sections, because there are different sections of it, it always says you're always alert, ardent. And so we bring this alertness, this ardency with us all the time. And alertness just says, hey, are we still with the breath? What's going on? What's happening? Are we still with the breath? Are we still focusing on the in-breath and the out-breath? Are we still focused on the quality of the breath or not? Or am I just kind of lost in thought somewhere? So that's what our alertness does, of our alarm system, so we pay attention to what's going on. What's going on here? And then if we're not paying attention, if we're alert enough to say, hey, I'm not paying attention, then our ardency, or being ardent, our ardency brings us back. It's our ability to come back. It's our wanting. How much do we want to come back? Because a lot of times, like, I don't know about you, like, I'm alert enough to say my mind is lost in thought, but I'm not ardent enough to say, hey, let's come back. I'm like, no, I like this. You know? And so our ardency needs to be developed too, to bring ourselves back to the present moment. So we bring both of those qualities with us when we're doing any kind of meditation. This is for mindfulness meditation, but it's really useful for everything else too. And so we use all of these to bring us back and to help us concentrate. So often when we get lost in thought, one of the things that prevents us from coming back to the present moment and coming back to focus on our meditation is, oh, I got lost again. I did it again. I did it again and again and again and again. Now, this time I did it for 20 minutes. Where have I even been for the last 20 minutes? So it's really easy, especially us in this culture, when something like this happens, it's kind of constant defeat, as we say, or this. Certainly, that's the way that we look at it. Oh, I got lost again. Oh, I got lost again. It really does a number on our ardency. It helps us know, I'll just stay here. Like, I don't deserve to come back. I'm a bad meditator. I'm not really good at this. No one else is like this. I'm the only one. I'm the only one lost in thought. Look at all these people. When you open your eyes and you see everyone else, their eyes closed. I'm the only one. Right? That's our conditioning. That says all of these things. None of it's true, because I guarantee you everybody else is getting lost in thought. Maybe even more than you. Everybody else is getting lost in thought for a long time. I'm sure it's happened during this meditation, and that's okay. In Buddhism, the other strategy that we take is we know that this is going to happen. We get it. There's not a timeline for us to get good at this. There's not I've been meditating for 6 months and I'm still getting lost in thought. I'm bad. I'm not good at this. I'm going to stop. When we're like, no, just keep coming back. Just keep coming back to the breath. You'll get there. We'll get here. We'll get there. We'll eventually get to a place where we can stay concentrated for a longer period of time. So we do everything in our power. We go against all of our natural tendencies to not be so hard on ourselves. Just because we get lost 75 times in 3 minutes, which is not really that much of an exaggeration. I've had plenty of meditations where I'm like, nope, this ain't happening. And after 20 minutes, I'm like, no, I'm done. Because this is just not going to happen. And I've done that, and I've said, this is okay that this is not going to happen. This is not happening, so I'm a bad meditator. It's like, I understand now's not the best time for whatever reason. And we come back and we try again. That's what I love about this practice. You can always come back and try again and get better. And it's this attitude that we have with our practice and about the quality of our practice and the quantity of our practice that helps us, again, break all of our natural tendencies of self-denigration and self-hatred, which we're conditioned with. I mean, I am. I don't know about you, but I am. Sometimes, it's not as much now, but, I make a small mistake and I'm like, yeah, well, it's just, I need everlasting hell and I don't deserve love. And that kind of hardness that you take with yourself just because you make some sort of simple mistake. Because I make mistakes all the time. But that's how it used to be. Like, I made a mistake, something minor, and it's like, well, I'm really, really bad. Not that I made a mistake, it's that I made a mistake, and I followed that up with that I'm really And breaking that cycle and breaking that chain can be done, and we have these wonderful practices to do it. Because we're saying in Buddhism, yeah, you're going to screw up, you're going to get lost in thought. We know it; it's part of the practice. Even experienced meditators doing this 20, 30 years get lost in thought all the time. But it's their attitude of knowing that, yep, lost in thought, let's come back. So when you say to yourself, thinking, and you do this labeling technique, and you say, thinking, and you come back to the breath, you do it with a kind and a loving attitude. Like, yeah, I bet everyone else is like this too. This is another way that we can practice loving kindness for ourselves, which is so important. Man, I've been talking for a long time. Because usually, like, one person asks a question, and then I just kind of get going. We have a few minutes. Anyone else have anything to say? Anyone else want to share their experience?
Last week you talked about smiling.
Talked about what?
Smiling.
Yeah, so good.
Just smiling, period. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. And I've been trying to do that more, and it really does make for a happier meditation.
It doesn't?
It does.
It does? Oh, okay.
And, even smiling and just in your regular life, really changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Changes things, makes things better.
It does make things better. Now, I don't recommend that you just go around smiling all the time, just walking around, people just think you're crazy. But, like, especially in meditation, and it works in your regular life too, that if you just remember, like, to smile, it just puts the mind in, like, a better mood. Right? And so I need to kind of temper this. I need to temper this strategy with, you're not always going to feel like doing it. That's okay. We're not looking at any kind of like toxic positivity here. Like good vibes only, or.
No, but I think you're right. When you smile, isn't like there's chemicals that are to your brain or something.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But we know this is one of the tools that we have. So smile if you can in meditation. But thank you for saying that. Anybody else? Okay, that's all right. So we have a couple of minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to dedicate merit here, and then we're going to have our host kind of come up and give some announcements. So let's just join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you so much. Come on up and let's have our announcements.
Hello everyone, I'm tonight's host Cliff. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 15 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of practice with others. Just about every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery Sangha that meets several times a week for anyone battling addiction, drugs, alcohol, or anything else for that matter. A family Sangha for parents, kids, toddlers, and teens, which currently meets once a month. And we also offer a half-day silent retreat the first Saturday of the month with an RSVP